Hello everybody, welcome back to Dominions 5. We are continuing our game as Late Age Tianqi. I've just opened up the turn here. So we have a message from Man. So the player who's playing Man, he whenever we chat, he does tend to try to stick to character to kind of roleplay a bit, so it's kind of nice. So here we go. Hail Tianqi, we are sorry that the peace between our nations that has been so prosperous will be coming to an end. However, the land of man belongs to the Magisters. We shall not allow your barbarian hordes to enter without all the opposition we can muster. The long traditions of man and our reverence for the sky's rim cannot be crushed under the hoof of your cavalry. Except he said cavalry. Whether you come to burn the stations at which our children play out their imaginings of the sky's rim, or to destroy our tradition of gifting one another boxes painted with a green X that bear inside artists' visions of the sky's rim, we shall not stand for it. Our child oracle Alexa, who speaks tales of the sky's rim, will be ushered to safety and sheltered during this war so that her knowledge remains out of your uncivilized hands. The personalized abacuses on which our magisters toil to further understand the sky's rim will be likewise locked away, even if they occasionally modify these devices with engravings of shapely women rather than customize them to perform better in holy divination. So this is very well. This is very good. Well written. Come the 35th month of the Ascension Wars, we shall meet you on the field of battle. Okay. Then we claim the Throne of Life, which has the effect that all units have gotten younger, which is very nice because we've got a lot of old dudes. And then Unexpected Event, Unrest, and that's that. Okay. I made a couple of small modifications to the turn after the fact last time, just in terms of how I was moving things around. In particular, I put all of the cavalry on this one commander so that I could free up and move the other commanders elsewhere. So we dropped off one commander here at the capital, and as you can see, even with some sacreds, he can make it here. This is important, I think. So we don't have very good scouting for man yet. So actually, let's see if we can fix that. I think we have a scout. All right, hang on. There's a lot of stuff we need to address here. We'll deal with the mages in a moment. Okay, I guess all these are moving here. The scout, though, is going to move further in. This can kind of chill for now here. We have a scout there. I guess you can move on top of this fort. And then you guys will move here. I got a message in Discord from the player playing Utgard, who was worried about all my guys on his border all of a sudden, which fair enough, but we have a nap and I don't break naps. And to be fair, he's had a huge stack on the border too. So, fair is fair. Okay, so we're going to wait here. Recruitment, this is fine. This is fine. Should we move this cat mage? I don't think we need to. Let's definitely keep making the barbarian heavy cav. We have some guys here. Let's bring them. Let's move this guy here so he can pick these guys up and move them into the castle. If he moves this army, if he keeps this army here, then I'll assume he's coming for this to siege this throne. But maybe he moves here and he comes in to raid us here. We're not going to have a huge force down here, but with like a dozen sacreds and maybe 10 or so heavy cav plus a few mages, I think we'll be able to delay the effectiveness of this army long enough. Plus, we'll have, if he just sieges me, then we'll have a few more turns of sacred recruitment down here. So I think we have enough to counter this force if it doesn't get too much bigger. Okay, so this guy was site searching. I guess you can continue to site search. You can go down here. These guys were forging stuff here. I guess you can site search. Okay, water 2 here. I guess you're done, so you can research. And research. So we're kind of all over the place in what we're doing. Okay, so, and let's say you research. And, oh, another thing I did is I moved 2 of these crystal mages up to be part of this army over here. So even though it's winter, we have heat 3, so we're still in heat 2, which means we can actually move a decent 14 map move, which Plains Forest is just that amount, so that's okay. All right. Okay. Let's do a few things here. Let's take these skull mentors and give them to people, so that we can research better. And I guess up here. Okay, that puts our research at 663, which is, and what I'd like my target to be here is, because next turn, there's a chance that next turn we move out with a lot of mages, so I might not make Alteration 7 in 2 turns, but I'd like to try. So, okay, we twice spawned 1 mage, which is this guy. I'd like to... Oops, sorry, I got some interference from my phone here. I'd like to twice spawn more mages, especially the ones that I think are going to go into battle. We recruited last turn another nature mage that you see down here, and we'll have to decide what kind of mage we recruit this turn. We'll think about that in a moment, but let's twice spawn this one. Not forge, but in fact... twice spawn. Let's... we're going to bring this guy. Let's twice spawn him. And we'll use a skull staff here to twice spawn this guy. Now, I don't think I'm going to bring this earth guy to battle. We have these earth mages that we can use, and this guy to me is more valuable continuously forging skull mentors, so we're gonna do that. So why am I twice burning all of these guys? First of all, because I have like a ridiculous number of death gems, and that's a great way to spend death gems right now. I don't want to like... These guys are just kind of human mages, and I don't want to lose them. They're like 220 gold. We're fighting a lot of archers, and I don't yet have enchantment 6, although we'll have it soon enough in the war, but he's fielding a lot of longbowmen. So that's definitely a concern. And when they come back with an undead chassis with like a few more hit points. So, they'll be even stronger. Honestly, you can kind of even do mini thugging with them. These guys, and the reason you can kind of do that is because they have nice paths. So, for example, the Earth guys, Earth is a pretty good path just for a mini thug. With Death, you can do so you can do all the Earth buffs. So for protection, temper flesh, you can even do some in Earth power, which is more of an issue for the old guys. See, when they come back twice born, they are no longer old. They're just kind of undead. Plus, they'll take my bless, which is more killy, right? This would be an even stronger play if I'd gone for like a rainbow bless. Like a killy bless with weapon effects isn't as good for thugs. But I mean, we have attack and blood skill and a bit of magic resistance, so it's not. It's still going to be useful. Um, but yeah, like these guys can do a couple buffs in Earth. Maybe with a Death Gem, they do Invulnerability or even Soul Vortex, which is actually they can do Soul Vortex right now. So these actually, with air, they can do the mist form and stuff like that. So even already, they're kind of well equipped to do a tiny bit of thugging. Um, so given that, why don't we spend a few moments thinking about some kind of little kit maybe that we could give them. And I'm going to, just for now, let's look at the things that we could forge for them. So, here we were going to do, let's not forget what our plan was, which was to forge the cornucopia. Okay, let's think about some of the things that would make sense to forge with these guys. Now, I don't want to spend a ton of gems on one such guy. So imagine like this guy got twice born. I don't want to spend a lot. What would enhance this guy's capability? What would enhance this guy's effectiveness as a mini thug? I think something like maybe dual wielding cheap weapons could be a thing. So, and also the other thing is like death gems would kind of be free, so I don't mind spending a bit more in terms of death gems. Let's look at a few options. In death, we could definitely do Mangosh. But that's earth, and we don't have a ton of earth. We could definitely do coral blades for more HP. I kind of like that. And we have, we don't have a ton of water income, but we have enough to make a few coral blades. So a coral blade, first of all, it gives nice stats, 2 attack, 2 defense. It can cause bleeding, but it gives you 8 hit points, which on a human unit, and again, the Twiceborn version has like 25 HP, which is still not a lot. 8 hit points is quite a nice buff. Plus, we're going to be running Soul Vortex, so yeah, we could definitely do that. I mean, Soul Vortex on the Death 2 guys. That's a decent option. What would we put in the offhand? The alternative, of course, is we do like Wraith Swords, which are definitely a solid option. Partial life drain will sort of will give them some measure of regeneration, and it'll also like increase their HP pool. So Wraith Swords are definitely an option here. But we could do A main gauche would be okay, although our air is a bit low because of all the hammers. Just a Bane Blade, just because we have because we have the death gems to spare, and this is going to give us more, even more stats. So the reason I'm considering dual wielding is because we have as part of our bless, we have weapon. We have an attack bless, so each attack is going to trigger the bless potentially. Now, would we bother with hats? We have a lot of death gems, but honestly, I don't like the idea of putting like 10 gem items on a tiny thug. Oh shit! We can do Armor of the Five Elements. Oh my god, I forgot about this. Oh wow. That stuff is so good. Now, unfortunately, we don't have fire water. Oh my god, we need to empower a water guy in fire to make the swords. Oh my god, I completely forgot about that item. Okay, so Tianchi, and actually we even have Armor of Quickness if I remember correctly. The Jade Armor or something. Maybe that's only the other ages. Okay, Tianchi has access to 2 important items that only they can forge. And I made a ton of these in the MA Tianchi game. But there's an armor here. And first of all, it's amazing because it only costs 4 items, 4 gems total, which is going to be 2 gems total if you forge it with a hammer. So super cheap. And this armor is 17 protection with only a 2 encumbrance penalty and a 1 defense penalty. So quite reasonable. And you get magic resistance +1 and elemental resistances. It's an amazing item. Now, if you compare it to what these guys are running naturally, the death guys have an ancestor cuirass, which is only 14 protection. So we'd be getting 3 more protection plus the MR and the cold resistance and whatnot. The nature guys also have the same thing. Now, the earth guys, they come with ancestor armor, which is more protection, but also has much more severe penalties, -3 defense instead of -1, and 3 encumbrance instead of 2. Now, there is... I gotta actually double check this. I'm just opening up the mod inspector here to see if if we get the sword as well in late age Tianchi. Late age... Not Patala, late age. Sword of the 5 Elements. Yes, we can make it as late age Tianchi. So that one requires fire water cross paths. So and the item itself is really cool. It does... Oh my god, it does... Yeah, it gives you +3 attack, +4 defense. And it gives you reinvigoration too. It's a great item. Okay, I know this sounds crazy, but I'm actually going to empower somebody in fire just to craft that item. Now, I'm only doing this because we've had the good luck of having found some fire and some fire income from like provinces like this, like the Lava Lake here. So we've built up 75 fire gems. Now, what do I intend to spend my fire on this game? I was thinking, oh, we'll put up like Eternal Pyre, right? The problem is that Eternal Pyre is going to cost 6. I need to be 6 fire to put it up. And my Pretender only has 4 fire. Now, he can wear the Fire Hat booster and the Fire Death booster cross path, which he can forge. But first of all, for this booster, we're going to need Construction 6. And then this booster costs like 24 fire gems. Let's take a look here. 25 fire gems. So that would bring me down to like 25 fire gems, plus the other one is 5 and 5. So that's 30 fire gems in boosters before we can even cast it. And we need to get to Construction 6 first. So it's something that I could do, but even if I went for it, like if I went for Construction 6 soon, it would take a long time to get there, and I would get back to enough fire gems to put up the global. And I'm not sure that it's worth doing that, putting up that global over, because I am going to go down to Conjuration 7 first, and in Conjuration 6 I could get Flame Spirits. And I feel like I'll be better off spending my banked up fire, getting a few fire mages, one to go with my army to do flaming arrows and things like that, and just to start site searching fire. So I think it's a worthwhile investment here to empower. Now, who do I empower? What I'm thinking of, despite the fact that he's old, would be maybe this guy here. Now, we can actually, there's actually another Tianchi item. Let's see if I can find it here in the... what is it called? There's a... Oh no, it's a ritual. Internal Alchemy, age minus 15 years. For Water 2, Astral 1, yes. So, okay, I wanted to empower this guy. Why this guy? Because I want to benefit from useful cross paths with my fire guy. So obviously I need fire water. That's the whole point of doing this empowerment. Now, so I want to have a guy who can do water, obviously. Now, in addition, this guy has earth. So with fire earth, I'll be able to, there's a lot of items that are fire earth, including like firebrands and things like that, and a lot of shields. So that'll be useful to have. Fire Astral is also useful, especially for like Construction 8, like really high level items. However, I also have as an option my Pretender who can do Fire Astral already. Now the problem is empowering in fire does a few things. First of all, it increases the your rate of aging, or it reduces your lifespan. And this guy's already old, so I don't want him to die. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to actually cast, which I've never done in a game. But we will use this maybe to make him young enough so he doesn't get old. Now, I haven't tested this, and it says the transformative nature of the Cinnabar might also transmute the mind of the hermit. That seems a little... I don't know what that means. So we're gonna experiment a bit. But here, let's do that. Empower and fire. And here we're actually just going to forge a bunch of these armors. Well, those who can. Now let's take a look in miscellaneous here at stuff that we could forge that would be useless for these twiceborns. Um, Another attacking thing that would make these guys very offensive. But I'm not against the idea. Now, unfortunately, that is air gems, and air gems are going to be a little precious to me. Um, Again, I would want this to be a cheap item. I'm just going to look across, my magic paths here. I won't need bark skin because I'll have protection buffs. 3 Vinemen, if I was going to use them solo, that would be very nice. The Vinemen kind of go and mess with the PD while you get your buff script up. We could enlarge. Actually, this would synergize well with Soul Vortex and things like that. That's definitely an option. Let's see. Let's look through. See if I missed anything. In fire, of course, there would be there would be like rings of fire, right? So Astral Serpent is another nice attack item, but it's a 10 gem item, so I'm not sure I want to spend that much. Honestly, like a Penance of Luck also might be a thing. What I'm liking the most are like the Dancing Tridents and things like that. That'll make them incredibly killy. Woundfend is a thing, but it's a bit expensive. Just Bracers of Protection. Girdle of Might, those are all solid options. Yeah, those earth items. We just don't have a lot of earth, and we're spending them now on the armor. Okay. Let's... How many hammers do we have? We have 1 free hammer right now. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to forge some coral blades. I don't necessarily... So first of all, right now, these guys are going to be buffers. They're not going to be thugs. And for these first battles, like honestly, I'm not necessarily going to send them as thugs, maybe until they're twiceborn, because so I don't lose the unit, but I'll lose the gear if he dies as twiceborn. So I don't want to be wasteful of the gear. Now I can definitely equip them with their better armor right away. That'll just be good for them. And especially with the swords that I intend to forge, those are also good for mages because they just give us reinvigoration. So let's do that for now. But that's definitely a nice sort of plan for the future here. Um, so you can just forge more skull mentors. You let's take the hammer off you. You can forge the skull mentors. I'm willing to be inefficient with death gems here to use the hammers on other things that we are forging. So we're actually going to remove this hammer here, and we're actually going to put hammers on these guys. So that we can make this armor really cheap, and next turn we'll get a hammer here, because earth gems. Now they're only one earth gem each if you put a hammer on it, but yeah, we still have limited resources. So let me just make sure, where are all of my hammers distributed right now? The coral blade is fine. Oh, here. Yeah, see? There you go. Okay, so that'll extend the our limited earth gems. And we'll build up some coral blades. We'll start making the elemental fire swords. I'm actually going to shop around and see if I can trade for more earth gems. I'd be willing to trade, obviously some death gems, but I'd trade a little bit of anything. Get a bit more earth gems. I wouldn't mind getting a couple more hammers going, because we're going to be doing a lot of forging here. Okay, I think we've moved, we've recruited, we've moved all the troops we need to move. In terms of recruitment, here I have to decide if I want... Okay, what's our final research at? Yeah, it's not quite going to be enough for Alteration 7, but that's okay. We can kind of play the beginning of the war a little slow. I am going to get another scout here. Let's... What kind of mage do I want here? Do I want another nature mage? I think we take another nature mage. The other option, I think, would be a Death 2 Air Mage. Let's go for another Nature Mage. Because we can always dump Nature here in these big fights and do Creeping Doom. Yeah. That'll be a good thing. Okay, anyways, and it's turn 33, so turn 34 will be the turn where we script things for the opening of the war, which honestly might not be very offensive on our part, so we'll have to see what that ends up being. By the way, I just want to point out, going for Alteration early as Tianqi is really strong because all our mages can do Frozen Heart, which is honestly a fantastic spell. Precision 100, pretty close range, but you put your guys on advance and cast spells. Armor negating 10 cold damage. I could literally move all of these mages out, and they could all be casting that. It kind of wrecks heavy armored humans because it's armor negating. So I don't want to roll all my mages out because I want them to be researching. But if we're going to have a big key battle, you can definitely expect me to be using that spell. Okay, that's going to be it for now. See you guys next time. Take care.